Here's a brutal truth that might sting at first, but will set you free. Women don't want a man who chases them. They want a man they can't catch. A man who walks into a room and commands respect without saying a single word. And the moment you start running after her, trying to win her over, the game is already over. Why? Because the second she feels your desperation, the attraction vanishes. It's gone. But here's the secret no one's talking about. When you flip the script, when you stop chasing her and start living your life on your terms, something incredible happens. She starts chasing you. Guys, this isn't just about playing hard to get. This is about understanding human nature, about shifting the power dynamics in your favor. And by the end of this video, I'm going to arm you with tools that can completely transform how women see you, and more importantly, how you see yourself. Let's dive in. The lie we've all been told. We've all grown up with the same advice, haven't we? If you want her to like you, you've got to show her how much you care. Put in the effort, make the big romantic gestures, and she'll fall for you. Sounds familiar, right? But let me ask you this. How's that working out for most guys? How many times have you seen a guy bend over backward for a woman, shower her with gifts, send good morning texts, plan elaborate dates? And still, she pulls away? I've seen it happen over and over with friends, clients, even strangers I've observed in public. Take a guy I know. We'll call him Jake. Jake was head over heels for this girl. He'd planned surprise picnics, send her flowers just because, and even canceled plans with his friends just to be available for her. At first, she seemed into it, but after a few months, her texts got shorter, her replies slower. Eventually she told him, "I think we need a break." Jake was crushed. He did everything right, or so he thought. But the truth? He was too available, too eager, too predictable. He made it too easy for her, and she got bored. Here's the lesson Jake learned the hard way, and what you need to understand right now. People don't value what's handed to them on a silver platter. Think about it. When was the last time you truly appreciated something you got without working for it? That free sample at the mall? It's nice, but you probably forgot about it 5 minutes later. Now think about something you had to fight for, something you earned. A promotion at work, hitting a personal fitness goal, or even saving up for something you really wanted. Those things stick with you. Why? Because the effort you put in made them meaningful. The same principle applies to relationships. Women don't fall for the guy who's constantly at their beck and call. They fall for the guy who's a challenge, the guy whose attention feels earned, not handed out. When you stop chasing her, when you make her work for your time and attention, you transform yourself in her eyes. You go from being just another option to being the prize. And let me tell you, the prize doesn't chase. But this isn't about playing games or trying to manipulate her. It's about understanding the psychology behind attraction and taking back control, not just of your relationships, but of your entire life. In the next section, I'll show you exactly why she pulls back when you chase her and how you can flip the script in a way that feels authentic, confident, and powerful. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Here's the thing about relationships. Power dynamics matter. Women don't consciously decide to pull away. They just feel it when the dynamic shifts. When she feels like she has all the control, she stops seeing you as a challenge. And human nature? It's wired to value what's earned, not what's given away easily. If you've been overly available, eager to please, or quick to respond, guess what? You've already lost some value in her eyes. And that's why today we're flipping the script. Step 1. Emotional detachment. The key to reclaiming your power. Let me ask you something. What happens when someone suddenly pulls away from you? Think about it. Maybe it was a job opportunity, a friend who stopped calling, or even a romantic interest who became distant. It gnaws at you, doesn't it? That void they leave behind makes you think about them more. Why? Because humans are wired to want what feels out of reach. And here's the kicker. When it comes to relationships, this principle is pure gold. That's why the first step to flipping the power dynamic is mastering emotional detachment. I know what you're thinking, but isn't detachment just a fancy way of playing games? Absolutely not. This isn't about manipulation. It's about breaking free from a cycle where your emotions and actions are controlled by her behavior. It's about reclaiming your power, your peace of mind, and your self-respect. Let me share a story. A friend of mine, let's call him David, was head over heels for this girl. But every time she pulled back, he panicked. He'd send her long texts, ask if everything was okay, and obsessively check her social media. It was like he couldn't help himself. And the result? She pulled back even further. Eventually, she told him, "I just don't feel the same way anymore." He was devastated, but here's what he didn't realize. The more he chased her, the less space he gave her to feel his absence, and that absence is what creates desire. Fast forward a year, David learned his lesson. When another girl started pulling back, he didn't react. No texts, no calls, no checking her Instagram stories. Instead, he focused on himself, hitting the gym, pursuing hobbies, and spending time with friends. And guess what? Within a few weeks, she was the one blowing up his phone, asking why he'd gone quiet. That's the power of emotional detachment, the science behind detachment. Here's why this works. Detachment creates scarcity, and in psychology, scarcity makes things more valuable. When you're always available, texting back instantly, liking her posts, and asking her how her day is, your presence becomes predictable. Routine. And let's face it, routine isn't exciting. But when you pull back, you create mystery. She starts wondering, why isn't he texting me? Has he lost interest? Is he seeing someone else? That curiosity is what makes you magnetic. Think about it. When was the last time you couldn't stop thinking about someone who didn't seem that invested? That's the paradox of detachment. The less you care, the more they care. Your silence is like a seed planted in her mind, growing into thoughts and questions she can't ignore. How to detach effectively. Now, emotional detachment isn't about ghosting or pretending you don't care. It's about shifting your focus inward. Here's how you do it. 1. Stop monitoring her every move. No more checking her Instagram stories or analyzing her last scene on WhatsApp. Trust me, it's not worth your energy. 2. Redirect your attention. Invest in your own growth. Hit the gym, work on a side hustle, or pick up that skill you've always wanted to learn. 3. Set boundaries. If she texts, don't drop everything to reply instantly. Take your time. Let her feel the shift in energy. By detaching, you're not just taking back control, you're showing her that you value yourself enough to not be at her beck and call. Here's the best part. When you master detachment, it's like flipping a switch in her mind. She'll start missing you, craving your attention, and wondering what's changed. But here's the key. Detachment is only the beginning. In the next section, we're going to dive into the art of maintaining your composure and avoiding the mistakes most guys make when the silence feels unbearable. Trust me, this is where the game truly changes. Step 2. The no contact rule. Mastering the art of silence. Imagine this. You've just stopped texting her, stopped checking in, and for the first time, there's complete silence between you. What do you think she's doing right now? Odds are, she's starting to notice your absence, and it's making her question everything. That's the power of the no contact rule, the most effective move you'll ever make in shifting the power dynamics of any relationship. And trust me, if you master this, you're already playing a completely different game. This isn't about manipulation or playing games. This is about making her realize what life feels like without your presence. Today, I'm going to break down exactly why the no contact rule works, how to do it right, and why it's a total game changer. Why silence works? Here's the deal. People don't appreciate what's always available. Think about it. When was the last time you valued something that came too easily? Relationships are no different. Women, like anyone else, are wired to value what they feel they might lose. And when you initiate no contact, you flip switch in her brain. When you stop texting, stop calling, and stop being the guy who's always there, you create a void. That void is powerful because it forces her to confront her own emotions. She'll start wondering, did I mess up? Why hasn't he reached out? Is he moving on? That fear of losing you? That's the game changer. That's when her perception of you shifts. Let me tell you a story about a client of mine. Let's call him Ryan. Ryan was in a tough spot. The girl he'd been dating for months started pulling back. Less communication, more excuses, and eventually she told him, "I think we should take some space." Now, Ryan's first instinct was to chase. He wanted to text her, call her, even show up at her door with flowers to fix things. But instead, he did something most guys can't. He went completely silent. For 30 days, Ryan didn't send a single text. No calls, no likes on Instagram. He focused entirely on himself, hitting the gym, picking up a new hobby, and spending time with friends. Guess what happened? By week 2, she started liking his old photos. By week 3, she was texting him things like, "Hey, I hope you're doing okay." And by the end of the month, she was asking to meet up. Why? Because his absence made her realize what she was missing. Now, I know what you're thinking. What if she moves on? Here's the truth. If she's truly interested, she won't. Women rarely move on as fast as you think. What they do during no contact is test your resolve. They post stories, drop cryptic messages, or try to bait you into reacting. And when you don't, that's when the magic happens. You show her that you're different from every other guy who panics and chases. Remember this: silence is your strongest weapon. It's not about ignoring her, it's about showing her that you're not dependent on her for your happiness. That's what makes her take notice. How to do no contact the right way. Here's how you master no contact. 1. Go completely silent. No texts, no calls, no just checking in. You're a ghost. 2. Don't stalk her social media. Watching her Instagram stories or liking her posts, that's breaking no contact. Don't do it. 3. Focus on yourself. This is your time to grow. Hit the gym, improve your skills, and invest in your life. The more you focus on leveling up, the easier no contact becomes. When you disappear from her life, you stand out in a way no other guy does. In a world where everyone's connected 24/7, your absence is like a neon sign saying, "I don't play by the rules." And trust me, she'll notice. But here's the thing. No contact is just the start. It's the foundation for flipping the power dynamic. But it's not the whole strategy. In the next section, we'll talk about how to avoid the common mistakes most guys make when the silence feels unbearable. Trust me, this is where most people slip up, and you don't want to miss this. Step 3. Leveling up during no contact. The ultimate power move. Let me ask you something. What are you doing while you're waiting for her to text you back? Are you sitting there staring at your phone, scrolling through her social media, wondering if she's moved on? If that's you, you're doing it all wrong. Because here's the truth. The no contact rule isn't about sitting around. It's about transformation. This is your golden opportunity to level up your life, and if you miss it, you're wasting the most powerful moment of your journey. When she comes back, and trust me, she will, you want her to look at you and think, "Wow, this isn't the same guy I left." You want to become so high value that her validation doesn't even matter anymore. Let's break down exactly how to do it. Why most guys fail during no contact. Here's where 90% of guys get it wrong. They think no contact is a waiting game. They sit by their phones, obsessing over when she'll text, checking her Instagram stories, analyzing every move she makes. And what happens? They get stuck. They waste weeks, even months, of their lives waiting for something that's completely out of their control. Here's the harsh reality. Sitting around, hoping for her to come back, is the fastest way to lose her and yourself. Why? Because you're putting your entire self-worth in her hands. And the more you obsess over her, the less attractive you become. Women don't want a man who's stagnant. They're drawn to men who are evolving, improving, and thriving. That's why leveling up during no contact is not just important, it's essential. Let me tell you about Mark. Mark went through a brutal breakup. His first instinct? To text her, to explain himself, to try and fix things. But after watching a video like this, he decided to do something different. Instead of chasing her, Mark started chasing his own potential. He hit the gym for the first time in years, started a side hustle he'd been procrastinating on, and even took a course to learn a new skill. 3 months later, his ex reached out. She wanted to catch up. But here's the twist. Mark had grown so much that he no longer needed her validation. He had outgrown the old version of himself, and she could see it. That's the power of leveling up. Now, Mark didn't just win back her attention, he won back his own self-respect. And that's the ultimate goal. Why leveling up matters. Here's why this works. When you focus on improving yourself, you shift the energy. Instead of being the guy who's desperate for her attention, you become the guy who's focused on his own growth. Women are naturally attracted to men who are on a mission, men who are passionate, confident, and driven. When you level up, you're not just making her miss you, You're becoming the kind of man that every woman wants. Think about it. How can she not notice the difference when she sees you thriving? When she sees you in the best shape of your life, pursuing your goals, and radiating confidence, she's going to realize what she lost. And here's the kicker. It's not just about winning her back. It's about becoming a version of yourself that doesn't need her back. How to level up during no contact. So how do you actually level up during no contact? Here's your roadmap. 1. Hit the gym. Physical fitness isn't just about looking good. It's about feeling good. When you're stronger, healthier, and more confident in your body, it shows. 2. Build your career or business. Use this time to focus on your professional goals. Whether it's getting a promotion, starting a side hustle, or learning a new skill, this is your chance to grow. 3. Expand your mind. Read books, take courses, and learn something new. Knowledge is power, and when you're constantly improving, you become more interesting and magnetic. 4. Reconnect with friends and hobbies. Don't isolate yourself. Spend time with friends, pick up hobbies you've neglected, and build a life that's fulfilling with or without her. Every step you take toward improving yourself is a step away from needing her validation. And that's when the real magic happens. But here's the thing, leveling up isn't just about looking good on the outside. It's about building emotional strength on the inside so that no woman or situation can ever shake your confidence again. In the next section, I'll show you how to become emotionally bulletproof, and trust me, this is the foundation for everything. You won't want to miss it. Step 4. The power of boundaries, the key to lasting respect. Here's the harsh truth. If you let her walk all over you once, she'll do it again. That's why boundaries aren't just important, they're non-negotiable. When she comes back into your life, it's not time to roll out the red carpet. It's time to set the tone, re-establish control, and make her work to earn her place. Because this time, you're calling the shots. Boundaries aren't just about keeping the peace. They're about commanding respect. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how to set boundaries that not only protect your self-worth, but also make her see you in a whole new light. Why most guys fail to set boundaries. Let's be honest. When she comes back, your first instinct might be to pick up where you left off. To be the guy who prioritizes her above all else. The guy who's always there no matter what. But here's the problem. That's exactly what pushed her away in the first place. If you don't set boundaries now, you'll fall right back into the same cycle, and this time, it'll be even harder to break. Think about it. How many times have you seen a guy take back a girl who disrespected him, only to have her lose interest again within weeks? That's because when there are no boundaries, there's no respect. And without respect, there's no relationship worth having. Let me share a quick story. A guy I know, let's call him Alex, got back together with his ex after she pulled away. At first, he was over the moon. She said all the right things, promised she'd change, and for a while, everything seemed perfect. But here's what Alex didn't do. He didn't set boundaries. The moment she came back, he started prioritizing her again, canceling plans with friends, responding to every text within seconds, and letting her call all the shots. Within a month, she started pulling back again. Why? Because Alex showed her that nothing had changed. He was still the same guy who put her on a pedestal. And the sad part, she didn't respect him for it. But here's the twist. When Alex finally set boundaries, everything changed. He stopped dropping everything for her, started saying no when he needed to, and made it clear that his time was valuable. And guess what? She stepped up, started respecting him, and for the first time, their relationship was built on equal footing. Why boundaries work? Here's the thing about boundaries, they're not just for her, they're for you. Boundaries communicate self-respect. They show her that you value your time, your energy, and your goals. And when she sees that, she can't help but respect you more. Why? Because women are naturally drawn to men who value themselves. Think about it. Would you respect someone who lets you walk all over them? Of course not. Respect is earned, not given. And boundaries are the foundation of that respect. They're not about pushing her away, they're about protecting what's important to you and showing her that she has to meet you at your level. How to set boundaries effectively. So how do you actually set boundaries without coming off as controlling or defensive? Here's a simple framework. 1. Communicate clearly. Be upfront about what you will and won't tolerate. For example, if she's constantly canceling plans last minute, let her know that your time is valuable and that it's not okay. 2. Stick to your word. Boundaries mean nothing if you don't enforce them. If she crosses a line, don't just brush it off. Address it calmly but firmly. 3. Say no without guilt. If she wants to see you but you have other priorities, don't drop everything for her. Politely decline and reschedule. This shows her that your life doesn't revolve around her. 4. Be consistent. The moment you waver on your boundaries, they lose their power. Consistency is key to earning her respect. And here's the best part. When you set boundaries, you're not just building a healthier relationship with her. You're building a healthier relationship with yourself. But boundaries are just one piece of the puzzle. The real magic happens when you pair strong boundaries with emotional strength. In the next section, I'll teach you how to become emotionally unshakable so no woman or anyone else can ever control your emotions again. Trust me, this is where you truly take your power back. Call to action. If this is hitting home for you, do me a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe right now. And drop a comment below. What's one boundary you're going to start setting today? Let's hold each other accountable and keep growing together. The bigger picture. Here's the truth. This isn't just about flipping the power dynamic with her. It's about flipping the dynamic in your life. This journey is about becoming the man you were always meant to be. A man who commands respect, sets boundaries, and thrives on his own terms. Guys, this is your wake-up call. Stop chasing, start building. Turn your pain into power and let her chase you. If you're ready to elevate your life, hit that subscribe button and join the movement. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more strategies to take control of your relationships and your life. Share this video with someone who needs to hear this. Let's level up together.